Hey guys, in this video today we are going to be making some homemade vegetable broth. So I save all my vegetable scraps and I put them in a freezer bag, and I put them in the freezer when I have a full bag that's ready to go to start making broth. So I go ahead and empty that freezer bag of all my vegetable scraps into the pot. And you can see I have peppers, some onions, I have skins from zucchinis. I do have some onions. I try not to use the skins too much of the onions or too many like carrot peels, because it could leave your vegetable broth a little bit bitter. But I go ahead and I cover it with water. I usually use anywhere from 10 to 12 cups of water depending on how much I stuffed my bag of veggies. So that's what you're seeing here, is me covering the frozen veggies with water. And now I'm breaking up everything. Some of it's still frozen, so I'm breaking it up as best as I can here, and then we'll go ahead and start cooking it. I started off on high and then bring it down to lower, probably more medium high, and then bring it down to lower once it starts to simmer. And then here I switched to my phone to give you a better view, but you can see it's starting to simmer. You can see the bubbles there. I'm going to go ahead and mix everything back up again, break it up a little bit. I'll let it simmer for a good while. I'd probably do, to be honest, I'm probably half an hour or more letting it simmer. And then once I think it's simmered enough, I kind of check the vegetables, see if they're all pretty soft, and then I'll go ahead and turn it off and I'll let it completely cool before I start getting ready to store it. I just love all the bright colors though of all the vegetables. So now the vegetable broth is done cooking. It is completely cool, so it's sometime later. I'm going to go ahead and lift my good old heavy pot. Please don't mind I have the pajama pants on, because that's my life. I live in those. No shame in my game. I'm going ahead and I'm draining all of that broth. I have a strainer that I use. You could also probably use a cheesecloth or some other kind of like milk bag or something, but I don't have any of those, so my strainer does the job for this. But I go ahead and get as much of that liquid out as I can right now. So I have a pretty big bowl, pretty much filled. Taking some of those scraps, squeezing out the extra in there. And then what I'll do first is I like to store some of my broth in ice cube trays. I find that it's easier when you don't need as much vegetable broth for your recipes. You can grab pretty much any amount of ice cubes of the vegetable broth that you need for a recipe. I tend to throw them into my chili often, or if a recipe only calls for a couple tablespoons of vegetable broth, it's just easier to grab those couple of cubes and throw it in, and you'll be good to go. But I'll go ahead and I'll fill up my first tray. And I usually get 3 to 4 trays of vegetable broth in them, so it does give you a really good amount. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. It really does help the channel. And if you find my recipes, videos useful, go ahead and give it a like. And then please comment below any kind of recipes that you would like to see going forward. I try to do as much plant-based as we can because that's the journey that we're on in our lives. But I do some non-plant-based stuff that the kids enjoy and that we still eat from time to time. So now that I have filled my ice cube trays, I'm going to go ahead and take all of the veggie scraps, and I'm going to go ahead and squeeze all of that juice or vegetable broth out of those scraps. And you'll see that I get a good amount from just squeezing and taking that extra time to do that, to get more broth out of it. I try to get as much as I can out of it. If you haven't already checked out my channel, I'm also doing shorts now. And those are just more funny clips of mom life that goes through my daily life, so check it out as well. I'm going to go ahead and grab whatever liquid now we have in there from clearing all those veggies out. So we did fill up the bowl a good amount more from just getting, like I said, getting that liquid out of all those scraps. So now I'm just filling the rest of this up with the bowl. Why I decided to ladle it in when I could have just dumped the bowl into the Tupperware container, I have no clue. But that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed, and we shall see you on the next video. Bye!